Hello friends, welcome to the video tutorials of compiler design. This is Rajul Suthar, Assistant Professor of the Swaminarayan Institute of Technology, Part Gandhinagar. Please like and subscribe the channel. In this session, we will discuss the Unit 2, that is a lexical analyzer. In this session, we will discuss the topic related to this session, like we will discuss the interaction of scanner and parser, token patterns and lexic, input buffering. Then we will discuss the specification of tokens, regular expression and regular definition, transition diagrams, hard coding and automatic generation, lexical analyzer, finite automata, regular expression to NFA using functions rule, conversion from NFA to DFA using subset construction method, DFA optimization, conversion from regular expression to DFA. So let's we start the session. फर्स्ट इंटरेक्शन विद स्कैनर एंड पार्सर. ये सेशन समझने से पहले हम देखते हैं कि व्हाट इज द लेक्सिकल एनालाइजर. तो द लेक्सिकल एनालाइजर इज द फर्स्ट फेज ऑफ कंपाइलर. द प्रोसेस of lexical analyzer start with the first phase. If the definition of lexical analyzer, we want to study about the definition. So lexical analysis read the input program and break into the sequence of lexeme, that is called the token. The syntax analyzer or parser use this token to check the syntax of a source program. So this interaction of scanner and parser, let me discuss. This is the lexical analyzer. So we are using the source program. The interaction between lexical analyzer and parser is well defined. The parser call lexical analyzer subroutine when it need a new token, then subroutine or lexical analyzer read the input character until it can identify the next token and return to the parser. So this relationship shown in this figure like this way, and we require the symbol table for. In the addition of the lexical analyzer, it also performs the certain secondary tasks that like the removing the comments and white space, like blank space, tab, and new line character from the source program. So we required, or it also given the responsibility of making a copy of source program with the error message. Each error message may also be associated with the line number. So it generates symbol table. So this is a symbol table. Symbol table which store the information about the identifier. The analyzer may keep the track of line number by tracking the number of new line character seen while reading the source program character by character. If you read the source program character by character, so you required this symbol table. So generally what is the use of symbol table? Symbol table का use क्या है? Symbol table only store the information about the identifier. Used to store the information of identifier. Upon receiving the get next token, this command is used from a parser. The lexical analyzer read the input character until it can identify the next token. So you can easily understand by using this figure. Lexical analyzer also stripping out the comments and white space in the form of blanks, tab, and new line characters from the source program. So this is the main point related to this interaction of scanner and parser. Why to separate the lexical analysis and parsing? So first, simplicity in design, improve the compiler efficiency, enhance the compiler portability. This way you can separate the lexical analysis and parsing. This is the most important point. What is a token, pattern, and lexeme? Let me understand one by one. So token. It is a sequence of character having a collective meaning known as a token. Token, that is a class or category of similar lexemes such as identifier, number, constant or operators. So we can categorize the token in first identifier. It may be keywords, operator, special symbols or constant. If you can identify the particulars, or this is the list of tokens in our program, so we can say that this is the, if identifier is available, keywords also available, operator plus minus multiplication or special symbol or constant, so it's called the token of particular program. So what is a pattern? Pattern, that is a formal or informal description of a token, such as a identifier can have at most 8 characters, in which first character must be an alphabet and the successive characters can be either digit or alphabet. So pattern is a rules. Pattern क्या है? Rules है. Okay. The set of rules called the pattern associated with the token. For example, non-empty sequence of digit and letter followed by the letters and digit. That is a pattern. And what is a lexeme? Lexemes, it is the smallest logical unit, we can say that word, from a program, such as we declared we are using the main integer a, b, 10, if, plus sign. All this is called the lexeme. So lexeme is a sequence of character in a source program match with the pattern for a token, that is called a lexeme. We can use the rate in our program, stat, count. This type of a word is called a lexeme. Okay, so I think you can understand easily by this example. Lexeme is generally related to the pattern, and pattern is also connected or related with the tokens. Here one more example, like total is equal to sum plus 14. So this total is equal to sign sum plus and 14 is our token of particular this statement. This is an identifier. We can say that total is a identifier. Is equal to is a operator, first operator. So operator 1. Sum is a second identifier. So we can say that identifier 2. Plus is a second operator, and 14 is a constant number. So by this way you can identify these tokens. And lexemes of identifier is proper. It is the smallest unit. We can say that this is the word declared in our program, total and sum. So total and sum is a lexeme of identifier, and lexeme of operator. So this is the is equal to sign plus sign. This is the lexeme. Same way, lexeme of constant, that is a 45. What is the input buffering? So input buffering is a lexical analyzer that scans the input from left to right, one character at a time. It uses two pointers. Begin the PTR, we are using the BP begin pointer. So BP, and forward, keep the track of the pointer of input scan. So initially both the pointers point to the first character of the input string. So let me understand by this figure. This is the initial configuration of input buffer. So forward pointer and begin pointer both are available at initial location. So we are declared if integer I comma j, this is the common equation. Okay, so in this buffer, first begin pointer and forward pointer is available at a initial location or a starting location. Then this is the movement. So movement of a forward pointer. It move the next point. Same way it move the next point again. The forward pointer move ahead to search for the end of lexeme as soon as the blank space is encountered. तो वो कब तक मूव करेगा? जब तक उसको ब्लैंक स्पेस नहीं मिल जाती तब तक. सो यहाँ पे ब्लैंक स्पेस है, यहाँ पे ब्लैंक स्पेस है, यहाँ तक वो मूव करेगा, यहाँ पे स्टॉप होता है ब्लैंक स्पेस जब फाइंड होगी. तो द फॉरवर्ड पॉइंटर मूव अहेड टू सर्च फॉर द एंड ऑफ lexeme as soon as the blank space is encountered. It indicate the end of lexeme. ब्लैंक स्पेस जब भी फाइंड होगी उसका मतलब क्या हुआ कि lexeme का एंड हुआ. So in this example, FP, here forward pointer FP encounter the blank space lexeme INT. Which lexeme is identified? INT. So first INT word is identified because we found blank space. Okay. So by this way you can understand the input buffer. Okay. This type of a question asked in a GTU exam. Write two methods used in a lexeme analyzer for buffering the input. Which technique is used for the speeding of the lexical analyzer? And a question like write a brief note on an input buffering technique to lexical analyzer. Always some of the question like write a brief note of an input buffering techniques. So lexical analyzer read a source program character by character from a secondary storage, but it is costly. So we require the input buffer. Okay. Many source program, many source language take a time when a lexical analyzer need to look ahead several characters beyond the lexeme for a pattern before announcing a match found. While processing input character, a large amount of time is consumed in moving the character, so that specialized buffer technique is used. It is called the input buffer. By this way you can write the question as given in an exam. Let me discuss in details. So the FP will be moved ahead at a white space when FP encounter white space. It ignore and move ahead. Then both begin pointer BP and forward pointer FP are set at the next token. I describe details this way. The input character is thus read from a secondary storage, but reading in this way from secondary storage is costly. Hence buffering technique is used. So we require the buffering technique. Okay. A block of code is first read into the buffer and then second by lexical analyzer. These are two methods used in this one buffer scheme and two buffer scheme. So what is a one buffer scheme? Let me discuss. In this figure, one buffer means this scheme only we are using one buffer. So it used to store the input string, but problem with this scheme is that if lexeme is very long, then it crosses the buffer boundary. To scan rest of the lexeme, the buffer has to be relieved that make override the first of lexeme. In this technique, that is, we can also say that this is the single buffer technique. Okay, we are using the single buffer to store the input characters by this way. If we are using the this equation integer I is equal to I plus 1, so base point begin pointer initially located at first location, and we move the forward pointer one by one, next character one by one. So one buffer scheme store the input string by this way. We stop here because in this scheme only one buffer is used and it store the till the first lexeme found. जब तक उसको स्पेस नहीं मिल जाती तब तक जो भी रिजल्ट है मतलब वो कहाँ तक स्टोर करेगा, वो फाइंड करेगा कि यहाँ पे स्पेस है, तो फर्स्ट लेक्सिम हमारा क्या हुआ, इंटीजर. ओके, तो यहाँ पे ओनली वन बफर हम यूज कर रहे हैं. ओके, देन व्हाई वी रिक्वायर द टू बफर स्कीम. To overcome the problem of one buffer scheme, in this method, two buffer are used to store the input stream. First buffer and second buffer are scanned alternatively. इसमें दो बफर यूज करेंगे हम. ओके, और स्कैनिंग जो है वो अल्टरनेटिवली फॉलो होगा. When end of the current buffer is reached, the other buffer is filled. Only problem with this method is that if length of the lexeme is longer. हम जो लेक्सिम यूज कर रहे हैं, लेक्सिम मतलब कि हमें ये लेक्सिम फाइंड हुआ, अगेन कोई लेक्सिम फाइंड हुआ, अगर उसकी लेंथ ज्यादा है तो सेकंड बफर में भी जो हम यूज कर रहे हैं उसमें प्रॉब्लम हो सकता है. ओके, सो यहाँ पे क्या कह रहा है, इफ द लेंथ ऑफ द लेक्सिम इज लॉन्गर देन लेंथ ऑफ द बफर scanning input cannot be scanned completely. So this is the disadvantage of second or two buffer by this way. This is a buffer 1 and this is a buffer 2. So begin pointer located at here. So in the second buffer, forward pointer start from second equation. Okay, it can alternatively. So by this way you can move the forward pointer till the end of file. Here your file or any sentence written, it will be end here. Okay, so this is a two buffer scheme. EOF is a end of file. This EOF character introduce the end is calling sentinel. So two buffer scheme also called the sentinel, which is used to identify the end of buffer. EOF जब भी हम इसमें लिखते हैं तो उसका मतलब क्या है कि यहाँ पे आपकी फाइल कंप्लीट हो रही है. ओके, एंड हो रही है, बफर यहाँ पे कंप्लीट